Welcome to Swish Comics. My name is Marco.
I'm Chris.
Today we have some interesting books to talk to you about. Wednesday, as always.
And before we start, look at this.
Big stack.
Look at that.
We got our books back. Hopefully you saw our bonus video on Monday. Definitely. We changed up the wall a little bit. Well, quite a bit, actually. We moved quite a few things around.
And Moon Knight's all behind me now.
Yeah.
Dracula.
And then also, we got our giveaway. Again, I'll just remind everyone.
Yeah.
At 800 subscribers, we are giving away some awesome Spider-Man books. Bang bang and bang bang. That's a facsimile. Moving on. Let's go ahead and get into it because there's a lot of interesting things to talk about. One in particular that will be pretty fun. But some good books. Starting off with Devil's Reign, number 5. And what may be one of the best covers we've got this year.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. Devil's Reign story has been pretty good as well. We got one more issue coming in after this one. I enjoyed it. Any other thoughts you have on this one?
No, other than
it
leaves on a pretty big cliff.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how it's all going to get wrapped up. And I'm also excited for the tie-in here. We had the Devil's Reign Moon Knight, which I feel like was supposed to come out weeks ago.
Yeah.
It really feels like it. I don't know if there was a delay or something.
Because both, what was it? Last issue of Devil's Reign had Moon Knight in it for a second.
Yeah.
As well as Moon Knight being out of jail in his current run.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if there's weird timing on this one for whatever reason. But the ending of this made me really hype. I read this one first before Devil's Reign. It doesn't really matter. But this one made me really hyped for Devil's Reign, and slight spoiler, Moon Knight doesn't appear in this issue, this main issue of Devil's Reign. He does appear in this issue. I didn't want to make that confusing. But he doesn't appear in the main issue of Devil's Reign.
I thought he appeared in the background, didn't he not? For the big...
Did he?
No.
I was I don't remember seeing him. But anyway, I'm hoping he'll play a nice little part in the finale. This issue, also, gotta say, absolutely phenomenal cover.
Oh yeah,
I think this is ridiculously cool.
I like the what is this, the A cover or the B?
No,
cover?
this is the B cover.
B cover?
I wasn't crazy about the B cover, but Chris wanted to pick it up, so I thought it was fine. I didn't hate it. I was just like meh. So it is Jed MacKay, the same guy that's writing the main Moon Knight series, the ongoing series right now. However, it is a different artist. And the art's okay.
Yeah, the art's okay. It's passable.
It's fine. But it's not as good. The interior art for the Moon Knight series has been so incredible. I've loved it so much. It's as much as I'm loving the story, sometimes I just like to sit there and look at the art, because it is just phenomenal. Not so much in this issue. This issue, whoever's doing, I can't remember, but the art's fairly flat. There are some cool scenes, especially towards the end, that I do like, but at the same time it's although cool, it could be better if it was the other dude, I feel like. But anyway, definitely worth the read still. Really fun story. And yeah, if you've been reading the Moon Knight, even if you haven't read any Daredevil, if you're just reading Moon Knight, I would give this one a read. I think you'll enjoy it. Again, same writer, so. And it ties in sort of. I mean, he went to prison or whatever, so... Yeah. It ties in with the story. Now, moving on to Punisher number 1. I got the Pavlov variant on this one. There were some cool variants. The A cover's pretty good. Like I said, there's some other alright ones.
I like the 125 a lot.
Yeah, but this was, to me, hands down the best cover. A slight homage to, the Spider-Man 50, walking away from...
your suit.
The title type thing, but I think... This is what's really cool. It's a slight homage and not just a complete, we're just going to trace the cover. It pays tribute to that kind of concept, but in what I think a fairly original and apt way for this particular comic. It is a bit of a thicker issue. It was a $5.99er? $5.99 book. Fairly thick. Fairly brutal and gruesome.
Yeah.
I had a blast with this read. I'm really excited to see where it goes. Hopefully there's not too much unreasonable disdain towards the fact he changed his symbol and blah blah whatever.
Yeah.
It's literally for the story. It makes so much sense that he has a new symbol because he's doing different things right now. And it's pretty cool. I mean, the basic premise is he's with the hand now, but you got to read it to figure out why. And I gotta say, it's set up pretty good. I'm really excited. This was a great issue, and I can't wait for the next one. Oh. Now
Okay.
I just put these stacked in a random order. So now we got to talk about what's the thing called?
Gwynverse.
Spider-Gwen Gwynverse.
Spider-Gwen Gwynverse.
Man, if you take anything from my video today, don't pick this book up.
It's bad.
It's
Everyone agrees.
It's painful.
It's bad.
Yeah, we read it. We talked to our boss Shay. He got to read it too, and it was rough. I had to skip a couple pages, maybe 2 or 3 pages. Chris, I think, skipped most of it.
I did not read most of it. I stopped.
Shay powered through. Shay powered through. He read the whole thing. I was pretty shocked, but and I had to look it up. So I mean, you know, it happens a lot with these like teen and younger books or whatever, where it's someone older and you can just tell like they're trying to write something that feels young and they can't capture it at all. And
Not saying that there are people that can't do that.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah,
It's just,
sure it is. But I mean,
this is one of the instances in which they can't.
After reading this, I had to look it up, and yes, it is a 47-year-old man writing this book, and it's trying his hardest to insert memes and
dead memes.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like everything's outdated and weird, and also even taking that part out of it, the story was really hard to follow.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
There were time jumps there's a character that may or may not be Gwen. I don't know if I'm supposed to know if it's Gwen. I don't know at all what's going on with that. The dialogue in general I felt was poor. Even when he was writing for for Gwen's dad. It just felt so shallow and unhuman. And not shallow as in like... It just felt lifeless, I guess. It felt like, okay, time for me to write a line that will hurt Gwen's feelings. And it was so out of character in the specific phrasing. It's like nobody talks like that. That's a specific way to hurt someone's feelings. And it was just very poor writing. I was excited for this series to just be something light and fun and goofy. And it's all of those things but terrible, I guess. So I'm glad I almost picked up the Greg Land variant. I know people are freaking out about the Greg Land variants.
What's that one?
It's the Greg Land did the 1 in 25 for Edge of Spider-Verse 2, and then so he's doing some homage variants, but dressing Gwen up as different characters. So it's like the same thing, but different Gwens. And I'm happy I didn't pick up a second copy of this book. Because I thought this was a fun cover, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to pick up this one.
And it'll probably be the only one to pick up.
And I was like, maybe I'll pick up the Greg Land. And I was like, I'll read it first, and I'm so glad that I did. Can't stress it enough. And I really, y'all know me, like, I don't really bash books. And even when I'm like, yeah, I think it's time to be done with this book. And, there's some stuff that I read that it's like, maybe it's not for me, it's for other people. This is a book... I don't think it's for anybody, because while reading it again,
people. Maybe it's for older people that want to feel young.
While reading it, I kind of almost thought, I was like, is this satirical? And then I was like, it doesn't feel like it's necessarily trying to attack it. It just feels like it doesn't understand how to be youthful. And actually, I want to skip to another book as a stark contrast. So moving on, to Hawkeye number 5, Hawkeye Kate Bishop number 5, which I got the B covered because look at it, it's amazing.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Look at that pizza dog and the selfie in front of a fire.
This is a book, every issue on this book starts with a little text chat between Kate and America Chavez and Cassie. And
And they're written like kids.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this stuff definitely does feel like, and it's about younger characters.
Like young adults. They're like not
Well,
kids.
yeah, I mean not kids, but still still youthful
like
characters. But yeah,
like human beings.
And it's not like an example of the most well written thing or anything. It was a fun little story. I enjoyed it, but that's the thing. Nothing that was ever said. None of these text things. Which there's no well, there might be a little bit of texting throughout the story, not much. That's another thing I hate when they're like, oh, well, everything's got to be done in text, because that's what kids do. I think like in this issue, I think maybe she texted Clint once,
No, she's texting him like a couple times throughout the issue, keeping him updated.
This particular issue?
Not this particular issue.
No, that's what I said. This is this particular issue. Yeah, he's texted him a couple times here throughout the series.
Sent him a picture of Lucky. That's what it was.
Yeah. Oh, that's what. Yeah, she sent a picture, and Clint texts back, and that was it. It was just a simple little fun little moment, But yeah, the characters are fun. They seem like friends, real human friends, yeah, this is how you do.
I don't even care.
A nice lighthearted.
I don't even care to spoil this one.
I don't even.
There's a point in which it's really early on in the book.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I remember it because I did not read a lot of it.
Are you talking about the meme?
No, not just the first off.
The
meme was
that's
horrible.
The one that got me.
That's the first one. But also, Gwen's dad is.
I didn't like
mean.
Mary Jane in this either.
Yeah.
And I understand their relationship is rocky, but I gotta show you this. Look at this panel. Just look at this panel right here.
And that should tell you everything you need to know.
It's so bad. And there's these two concert goers that are. It's just all the characters are written so bad in this. Moving on to some better stuff. So we have the end of the God of Hammers arc with Thor 23. Pretty cool cover. I kind of wish there was another cool cover, like really showing off his new armor and everything. But the variant covers were kind of meh. I was a little disappointed on that end. The cover for the next one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. Which is Thor 750, which is pretty awesome. But anyway, yeah, if you weren't keeping up,
cool variants for Thor 750.
Probably. And there's big issues like that. There's always a whole bunch of variants. But anyway, if you are a little behind on Thor or whatever, he got a big power upgrade last issue, and that's why he's got a new look. And I think a lot of the strength about this particular issue and kind of this arc isn't just it's not just he's stronger and he fights the bad guy. There's a lot of emotional stakes involved in this victory.
Yeah.
And what it took to get here. And so Donny Cates takes some really interesting moments of pause to because you don't even start. You start in a flashback, right? In this,
you start
in a very early
moment between Thor and his father.
Yeah, and
which, if you remember last issue,
last while they haven't been doing too well, but
no, I said if you remember last issue.
Well, yeah, but
Odin.
Don't say necessarily because maybe not everybody's caught up.
Okay.
So that's why I said. There was something that happened. He has a power upgrade, but anyway, yeah, he takes
me out.
quite a few moments to really hammer in the emotional value. Yeah, that was an accident actually, but yeah, or was it? I don't know. But anyway, he really takes the emotional value into it, and that's what I really love about his writing. I mean, that's what to me. Some of my favorite work are the first, I always forget if it's 11 or 12 issues. I think it's 12 issues of his Venom run. I feel so emotionally tied and invested in Eddie Brock and Venom in those issues, and it's phenomenal. And it's kind of funny because it was the big bad action finale, but not really. He did it, I felt pretty smart, while also making Thor just a ridiculous badass. You know what I mean? unapologetically just so powerful.
It kind of reminds me of like a good Superman book. It's like, Superman's gonna win. He's like all powerful.
Yeah.
But it's the emotional stakes that you're there for.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, great issue. I thought this arc was wonderful. I hope you didn't pay too much for any 1 in 25 for God of Hammers or anything. I don't think. I mean, this is a slight spoiler, I guess, but I don't think God of Hammers is ever coming back. I think I've been saying that for a while, so I'm sticking to my guns. And I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I think God of Hammers was a villain for this arc, and we're going to be moving on to new things. Hopefully, Black Winter's coming back. Just throwing that out there. But and now Thor's a lot more powerful. So I think it's time. I think it's time for Black Winter, but I don't know yet. So moving on to Captain Carter, #1. We just picked up the
whole
cover.
Judgment Day thing they've been teasing.
Judgment. Oh, that's right. First. The whole Thanos Infinity Mjolnir thing's probably coming up next.
Yeah.
Maybe Black Winter too. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But anyway, Captain Carter here, #1. Pretty good issue. I really enjoyed it. It starts a tad bit slow.
Yeah.
And a tad bit, it kind of seems like nobody ever listens to women. And it's like, oh, please don't let this be the whole thing. But it starts with that and then quickly moves...
to Captain Carter trying to be adjusted into the modern world.
Yeah, which is also kind of slow, but at least it's different. And then some cool things happen. And I'm really liking... I feel like Captain Carter's very well written in this issue, at least.
Yeah.
So.
Which, for fans of the What If, this is not the same Captain Carter from the What If. It's a different Captain Carter. So this isn't the one that came out of the portal with the tentacle monster.
And I dig the art in this issue as well.
Yeah, the art in this
the art's pretty good.
This also has some emotional moments, too.
I do think...
here and there.
I am a little bit more excited for the next issue, because again, I feel like there is a bit of setup that is required in this, and I feel we might be able to be a little bit more guns blazing in the next issue.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, pretty good read, and yeah, would recommend it. I don't even know McKelvey. I'm not familiar with that.
Speaking of being excited for next issues, I think Venom's the only one where I'm not disappointed or excited for the next issue.
It's funny.
It's just so...
What is it? What number is this? So, Venom #6 here. I picked up the B variant
That's
here.
That's how far we are?
Yeah. So...
Feels like so much
We're
farther.
6 issues in. Ewing has only wrote 2 issues. The first and 5th issue. And we enjoyed both those issues. The second through... 2 through 4, wasn't a fan of. Not a fan, really, at all. Been powering through them. And this issue, once I saw it was Rom V, I was like... And I told Chris, I was like, this might be my last issue of Venom. And it pains me to say it, because the last run of Venom I loved so much. It's part of what got me into reading comics, like I do now. And I was excited for this. I was excited. I want to see what happens to Dylan and what's going on with Eddie and whatever. But they're
and
making it painful.
This issue wasn't that bad.
This one was okay.
Because we literally almost stopped until last issue.
And I
We picked it up because it was Ewing again.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, fine.
It was good. Just let him write the book.
Yeah.
Just let him write the book. Like, I don't know. And I know that Rom V worked on, like, Immortal Hulk.
Did he?
Yeah, because I think they worked together. At least I'm pretty sure. I think this is how they kind of do things. But he's not understanding Venom for whatever reason. Or whatever. I don't know what's going wrong. But it's not working out with Venom. And it...
Or maybe he's not a better, like, Hulk writer. That could just really be it.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, not everybody's great at everything. I don't know what it is. And because it's not like I'm going in... Well, this particular issue, I was a little biased, going into the issue. But it was something that...
He just got done reading Gwen.
Well, no. This...
He was like, now, finally, something good.
No, now when I pick up a Venom book, I'm like, who's writing? I look at it to see who's writing. Is it Ewan or Rom V? And before that, though, I was just reading the series, and I was like, man, that first issue was pretty good, but this rest hasn't been good. And then I can't remember if I looked at it and started noticing, or someone mentioned it to me. I can't remember what it was, but then I did realize at some point, oh, that's because the first issue was Ewing, and then the rest so far has been Rom V. And then when Ewing came back, I was like, oh, this issue's pretty good, and I liked it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then I saw this one was Rom V again. I was like, I might be done. We'll see. It was okay.
Okay enough to keep me.
And I did tell Chris, though, I was like, I don't know if it's the merits of this particular issue or not, or just the fact that I first read Spider-Gwen and then read this, and in comparison, it's just a bajillion times better.
Yeah.
Spider-Gwen may have saved this book on my pull list. I'm not... I can never know, I guess, but I'll continue, I guess, for at least one more issue. We'll see. That's the thing, like, even though this issue may have been better than 2 through 4, it still wasn't as good as the Ewing stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I feel like we have this... And the Ewing stuff isn't even, like, that good. It's good, but it's not, like, incredible. Like, I'm loving Donny Cates' Hulk, you know? I'm loving Moon Knight, you know, like all these other books. Thor, yeah. There's all these other books that are awesome. I really love that first issue of Punisher. I'm really excited for that. I know it's just one issue, but...
I'm loving Avenger. Although I've been reading it. It's for like 50 issues, you know, it might be...
But, and, you know, not every issue is going to be the best issue ever. I get that. But 2 out of 6 being good... That's not a good track record, you know.
That's not a good ratio.
So anyway, moving on to a few more books here. So picked up Strange Academy 17. Only one more issue on this one. I've been saying I want to read this for so long. I might try to read it all and have it ready for the last issue. But again, I haven't started this. And then, of course, I had to pick up the Stegman variant for Gaslamp here. Big fan of Stegman work, and he doesn't do a ton for Marvel much these days. So whenever he does a variant, I do try to pick it up. He did one not too long ago for Strange Academy. It might have been last issue. It was also pretty good. And then also, you know, had to pick up the second printing of Black Panther
read this one.
3. Oh, I didn't read it either. This is a cover by. But anyway, picked up a second printing of Black Panther 3. I'm pretty sure this is his first cover appearance of... I'm going to butcher the name, but Tazan Adoyi or something like that. I don't know. Pretty cool character design, though. I think he looks really rad. I don't know anything about him, but, you know, whatever. Spec book or whatever you will. And then this one, picked up the Woman of Marvel. Women of Marvel? Women of Marvel. Marvel. This is one woman. Another artist that I would love to buy more artwork from, Mirka Andolfo. I love her work. I think she does fantastic work, but she doesn't do anything that I particularly care for. But, you know, as soon as I saw that she was doing a Marvel cover with some of my favorites, love Black Cat, America Chavez is cool. Okay, Jubilee's not my favorite. She's cool. And then love the Storm. I think that Storm's beautiful as well. But I mean, mainly it's the Black Cat, if I'm going to be completely honest. But anyway, I mean, beautiful cover. Only thing is I wish these two were split a little bit, so you could actually see America Chavez. She's just like a head, basically, and a star. But regardless, almost dropped it. Pretty awesome cover, and I do wish Mirka Andolfo did more Marvel work. And then I had to pick up a variant as well. We have X-23 and Honey Badger.
And a Honey Badger.
Honey Badger and Honey Badger. Honey Badger X-23 and Honey Badger? Do you want to say that? Does that work better? Anyway.
What?
Beautiful cover. This one's super fun because it's just so lighthearted and just has a good energy to it. Again, with that
having a great time.
Yellow background that I'm addicted to.
Both the Honey Badger's mouths are open.
Yeah. I didn't think of that, but yeah, it's just super fun, and like, I don't know, this just seems like, you know, a couple of the heroes hanging out, you know, just an off day where there's no villains, no anything going wrong. They're just, you know, they just went and got ice cream, and then they're taking a selfie and posting on Instagram.
They ran into a honey badger.
That's what this looks like.
They're doing it in the woods because there's a wild animal. I don't know. They might have an actual honey badger.
I don't know a ton about the character Honey Badger. I assume she does have a honey badger. I know about X-23 a bit, but I know very little about honey badger. I'd like to know more.
Or real animal.
Yeah, I know very little about the real animal honey badgers either. But
I know their skin is really loose, so it's hard for bees to sting them, or for any animals to really attack them.
I'll probably go back through and actually read.
Is that true of is the comic honey badger like that? Is their skin loose?
I'll probably go back through and.
Why they call her that?
Oh, wait a minute. Woo.
What?
Wait, is that?
What are you wooing about?
I guess it's somebody that writes for Alien. I don't know. I gotta go through and look at that. I'm just I didn't read any of that, but I assume someone that writes on Alien is wrote a story in this book, and if that's the case, I'll definitely check that one out because I've been loving Alien. It's been a great read. But yeah, I'll definitely check out at least some of these stories. I'm not a big fan of these anthology books. Because, I don't know, I feel like, the consistency is always like, nah. It's like, well, that was a cool story. Nah, not that one, not that one. That one's okay. I don't know, it just depends. So, I don't know. I might go back and read through some of those. Moving on to some Star Wars stuff now. We have Crimson Reign, number 3.
And this book doesn't really, further the plot of Crimson Reign a whole lot.
Not really at all.
But it's really a backstory of this character right here.
Yeah, and I can't remember her name.
I don't remember her name either. But it's interesting.
I've really enjoyed it, but yeah, now that you mention it, you could probably completely omit this book. Now, granted, we don't know what's coming up next, but it definitely feels like you could omit this book and continue. Yeah. But yeah, I liked it.
She wasn't always green, turns out.
Yeah. And I like getting this extra story on Kira. Like, it's actually making me pretty hyped. I'm like, I really do hope we get to see her again in some live action movie or show or something. Because I think her character is pretty interesting. Following in the footsteps of Maul, but more tactical, not
driven so much by the emotions of hate and stuff like that. Because that's what killed Maul in the end, was his
just
drive,
recklessness.
his reckless hate to find Kenobi.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think it's a pretty good series. I'm definitely excited to keep on with it. And like I said, I'm getting to be a pretty big Kira fan.
Speaking of Kira,
yeah.
Solo and Chewbacca.
Yeah. This is first issue here on this series.
She makes a cameo in this for a second. Not I say cameo. It's like a flashback for literally a single panel.
You know who makes an appearance in here? McClunky.
I forgot.
Yeah.
How did I forget? McClunky. That's the title of the video, Marco.
Yeah.
McClunky, new comics.
Pretty good, though. I enjoyed it. I almost didn't pick it up because, I don't know. I was just like, do I really care about Han Solo and Chewbacca enough to go see what they're doing? Oh, that's right. Whatever. But I showed it to you. I showed it to me. When I show you a book, I'm like, that's like I'm kind of on the fence about it,
Yeah, and I was like, I like Star Wars and reading Star Wars.
Yeah.
And this is a fun little thing.
It was a fun one.
A little peer back to when he was working for Jabba.
Yeah, which is pretty fun because we don't
see a whole lot of that.
Yeah, we don't really see that too often.
Usually the only way we see that is in the normal Star Wars run, where someone would come from his past and be like, hey, you owe me money.
Yeah.
Or, you did this on that job, and I don't like you.
Yeah, it's interesting to see him and Jabba on good terms.
Yeah. But him and McClunky, not so much.
Well, on better terms, I guess.
Better terms, yeah. Than the last time we saw them.
But, yeah, and I'm curious if this partnership will kind of give even more reason to the duel that we eventually see in the movie.
You call that a duel?
Well, I don't know what else to call it. The showdown?
The straight up murder.
The hoedown? All right. So moving on. So this is technically a book from last week. I don't know if other people are having distribution issues or not. Things have been screwy this last week and this week. But yeah, we're just randomly missing books and all kinds of stuff. And one of them was, several covers for Cowboy Bebop number 2. We got this one because I got.
Do you read that?
2, yeah. I got 2 covers in.
Oh, that's a good one.
Last week, I think, but I didn't read it yet. And then, so I got this one as well, which is the connecting cover, and then the photo cover, which I like quite a lot, actually.
Yeah. You really see how good his costume is in that.
Yeah,
it's
like,
a really good show of it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. But anyway, so got to read this. Pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Just getting a chance to explore weirder parts of the Cowboy Bebop universe and a little bit of lore and everything. And yeah, it's a fun little adventure. Not a ton necessarily plot wise happened in this issue, but it was still pretty interesting. Like I said, really just diving in and learning a bit more, which ultimately is what I feel like these issues are about. It's just like, hey, do you want a chance to... I feel like this is what's good. Now, granted, I know this was started before they knew that they were going to get canceled or whatever, but just as a comparison to like that Harley Quinn animated comic series, the Eat, Bang, Kill tour or whatever, which I did not like at all. I didn't even read the last 2 issues, I think. I have them, but I just haven't been able to pull myself to read them. Better than Spider-Gwen. But the thing with that is that very much felt like the writers were like, okay, you can... Because it's a completely different writing team. And they were like, okay, you can do a little story, to keep the little dead space in between seasons. But, you can't do anything impactful. You can't... change the universe in any way or whatever. You can't... We're never going to go back and reflect on this comic in the show, is what it felt like. And in a way, this can kind of feel like that as well, but in a... I feel like it's done much better with this Cowboy Bebop comic, because while I guess the Harley Quinn comic feels very repetitive and just going through the same cycle of doing the same thing over and over again for 5 issues or whatever, 6 issues, whatever it was. Like I said, this gives us a new chance to explore different little crevices of the universe. And nothing impactful has to happen, but we're just learning new stuff. And again, we're probably, even assuming if the next season was coming back, like they visit a planet on here, which is pretty evident they're never coming back to, but it was like that was a fun little adventure, you know what I mean? And it makes sense why they wouldn't go back there. It's a weird place and they don't have any business there. Like it makes sense in the story, and I feel like it's just a much more creative way of dealing with those kind of restrictions. And then the last book we got for today is, what number is this? 17? Mighty Morphin 17, with my 3 favorite Power Rangers on there.
Yeah, it's like it couldn't be more perfect.
I had to get
this. Looking at it a little
one.
more, it looks like the White Ranger's trying to kill the Pink Ranger. Maybe even the Green Ranger. I don't know anything about Power Rangers.
I mean, I haven't been reading the story, but
yeah.
I always look, despite me not reading the Mighty Morphin series or Power Ranger series or whatever series they got going on right now, I always look at the covers, because if there's a Green Ranger, a White Ranger, or a Pink Ranger, I might get that cover. And then this one had all 3, so...
What's it called?
Or Draken, if it's a Draken cover.
The variant cover with Rita Repulsa is cool, too.
It's pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah.
I told Marco about it, he's like, she looks ugly, and I'm like, isn't she supposed to? And he's like,
I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I said she looks ugly, and I was like, I don't know, it was more just a statement, and it wasn't like, what a terrible drawing or anything. I was just like, man, she looks ugly, But anyway, that's our stack for this week.
Stack.
As always, I'd love to know what
like
you
Sean
got.
Chris,
I've been meaning to tell you something. But now I'd love to know what y'all picked up this week. If you hadn't checked it out already, yesterday I was on Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy's live stream.
Busey?
No, I'm Sean Connery. I was talking to Gary Busey yesterday. No, but Gary B, I was on his live stream for the 1011. We talked about some comics. Well, I talked about some comics that I picked out, and it was a pretty fun experience. Definitely go check that out. But also in that, I gave a little teaser, a little leak. So this past weekend, I tried to do some mystery boxes, and I gotta say I bit off more than I could chew. I think not so much that might be the wrong word, but I think I overstepped is probably a bit better of a way to phrase it. I went too hard, too swinging, trying to make some big boxes, some big boy boxes. I mean, medium boy boxes, I think. They get much bigger than that. But I'm going to dial it back. And this weekend, I don't know if it's going to be Friday or Sunday when I do the video, but I'm going to be doing some smaller boxes. So don't hold me to it, but like $50-ish boxes is what I'm thinking. So currently reorganizing comics, reformatting them to this new price point. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. I'm going to try to start smaller and work my way up. I think I got ahead of myself. So other than that, I think that's all I got. Let's talk about comics in the comments section. Let me know if you did, if you went ahead and picked up Spider-Gwen.
I'm sorry.
I mean, maybe try to read some of it just for the laugh.
If you get through it, tell us.
It's funny because while I dreaded the experience, it's something that I'm like very eager. That's the first thing I said to my boss when I saw him. I was like, "So, did you get to read Spider-Gwen?" And like I was excited to talk about it because of how bad it was. But anyway, yeah. If you liked Spider-Gwen somehow, I guess talk about that too.
Like one of those so bad it's good movies. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a so bad it's good comic. I wouldn't call it that.
But anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.